Ep36 Podcast, episode 36. Evening everyone, Gavin Baxter, Scott McMillan here for you this evening. As always, we are on YouTube as well, so good evening if you're watching us on YouTube. Also available YouTube. Also available as always on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram pages. Search Beerfridge Podcast, Untapped app as well, and obviously on the Beerfridge Network, www.beerfridgenetwork.co.uk. I think it's .co.uk.
I could have sworn it was .com.
I think it's .com. I think it is .com. It is .com. Beerfridge Network.
It's international.
.com. It is. It's definitely .com. I don't know why I said .co.uk.
It's a good job you went for .com because the UK will not exist shortly, so we'll be alright.
We'll be fit with that.
Front.
Exactly. So head over there if you want to get involved as well. Podcasters, YouTubers, you name it. Get in touch. There's a way you can send us a message to get involved with the Beerfridge Network. So like I said, bloggers, vloggers, podcasters, YouTubers, music producers and stuff. If you want to get your music on the Beerfridge Podcast, Beerfridge Network, let us know. Send us a message and we'll quite happily get involved. Beerfridge Network is going to be a kind of one-stop shop for new creators on the interweb to get involved and grow together. And yes, right then, big man.
Yep.
Since I've done all that jargon, this evening I am on once again my new favourite beer, the Hop House 13 Lager beer. I've got stubbies this evening.
Do you have to buy more or are you pre-stocked?
No, I'm pre-stocking tomorrow. This was an emergency stop. I would rather get half the bottles, but I stopped at the petrol station. A single bottle was £3.65 or 70 or something. I was like, no.
What's the cans?
£5 for 6 cans.
That doesn't seem right. The math doesn't add up there, does it?
That doesn't make any sense. I was like, I'll have the six wee stubbies then and get them at the road. What are you on, mate?
I'm having the Freak Scene, which is the last in my Beer 52 box for last month for November. So that's quite nice. Apparently it's a New England IPA with yuzu. I don't know what yuzu is.
I remember reading that.
It's a fruit. It definitely tastes kind of tropical.
So then I upgraded my Beer 52 box this month to the 10 crate. Like I said, I got the 10 for the same price as the 8.
Mm-hmm.
There's one in there. I can't remember what it was called. The lime. It had lime, sea salt.
Oh.
And a wild. Oh shit! I should really remember these kind of things because it tasted like shit. And it's literally been given a rating of 0.25 on my Untapped app. Only reason it got 0.25 is because I can't actually give it a 0.
Did you sink it?
I drank it. You can drink it. It is drinkable. However, it's humming. It tastes like pishy pants. No wonder I lie. It smells like fishy pants. It tastes like that's what it's called. The Wild Beer Company Sleeping Limes. It's reeking me. You can smell it. When I smelt it, I was like, I don't know about this.
Their stuff's all kind of strange though, innit? I've seen them at Great Grog before.
What's this? It's a kind of Mexican beer, so it's obviously kind of going up after that kind of tequila feel. And mate, humming me.
Bibble. Other stuff's kind of weird named. Millionaire Salted Caramel Chocolate Milk Stout. No.
It's just no. Just rank, mate. Absolute rank. But on the subject of beers, obviously Christmas is literally around the corner this time next week. So just have a look at kind of last minute Christmas presents for folk if they're a beer enthusiast, or for your Algin. I've had a wee look round and looked at honestbrew.co.uk and looked at their kind of Christmas packages that they can send out to you. If you order by 3 p.m. on the 21st, they'll get it to you delivered by Christmas. Options they have there are a stocking filler, which consists of 6 beers, which is £19.90. That's not too bad. They've got a mixed beer selection, which is £12, a little bit more expensive, £29.90. Or my favourite one is the Secret Santa one, which is just three stubbies for £9.90. And that's from the Honest Brew Company. So honestbrew.co.uk if you fancy any of them. And it's a good. They have got that wild. Some of the beer I mentioned there from the Wild Beer Company, and they've got beers we've actually mentioned before that we've had off Beer 52. So you get a good mix out of the kind of things.
You do. You get some decent stuff. I don't know. I just don't know. It's alright if you're getting stuff you've never tried before with the boxes and things like that. But a lot of the stuff that we'd seen on the websites is stuff you can get if you go looking hard enough. But your main supermarkets now have that good a selection that they stock most of the main stuff if you're looking to try, or at least a version of the different beers that you're looking to get into. Like I'm looking there, the Brewdog mix pack, 12 330ml cans. You get for £16, you get 3 Punks, 3 Dead Pony Club, 3 5am Saints, and 3 Jackhammers.
Fair enough.
For £16.
Sorry.
And you can go and pick it up at the shop. You don't have to make sure you order it by the 21st. You can pick it up Christmas Eve if you fancy.
I think it's quite noticeable that all the supermarkets and that and retailers and stuff are kind of cottoned on to the craft beer kind of craze that's kind of come about the last kind of few years, because there's more of it. It used to always just be like Pishwater, cider, and that was pretty much it.
But now even like take the Tesco across the road for me, they've got the cider section now as well. It's just as big as the ale section is.
Right.
Which is now they've moved it onto the same aisle, so you can see them. They're kind of back to back.
Right.
Whereas it used to be a wee corner of the spirits bit. Now it's its full section, and the whole bit where the cider used to be is all fancy gin, basically, and vodka.
Gin as well, aye. Gin as well.
Gin selection in Tesco's, like even compared to this time last year, is growing. It's about double the size of where it was.
No, definitely.
And a lot of good deals on kind of weird gin. It's not just like you didn't just get a litre of Bombay Sapphire for £20 anymore. It's decent stuff, which is the same with the beers.
Kind of strawberry gins and all these kind of different tasting gins that are like the
There's
Edinburgh
like 4 different kinds of Whitley Neal, and you couldn't get that anywhere before.
It's mental. Gin after over the last years went a bit crazy.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the whole kind of alcohols is changing a lot.
It's a lot of kind of meant to be wee folk, like weird companies that trying to do it like proper natural stuff rather than mass-produced, chemically enhanced to make it as lucrative as possible. Stuff that's more kind of craft everywhere, if you like. It's kind of people doing it properly and trying to sell it at a premium, like where you see with a lot of things like meat, cheese, all the kind of things like farmers markets, all that stuff. It's kind of hipstery, but everything tastes better. You don't have to go about with dungarees on cycling a penny farthing about everywhere to enjoy the fact that folk are making better quality stuff. I've said
it a few times before we did this podcast, I would just stick to the normal shit like Tennent's and Foster's and stuff. I would have never have thought of even trying anything different whatsoever. And now this Hop House 13, granted it's nothing extravagant, nothing crazy, however it's now my new favourite beer, and every chance I get I'm having it, and it's all because like say these retailers and stuff and all these small breweries and all that are popping up left, right and centre, and they've all got a story behind, which is always nice to see. But it's exciting, it's good, it's definitely good. So obviously, like you said, that honestbrew.co.uk for that as well. Another one, if you're on the high street, Debenhams. Yes, Debenhams, we are mentioning them on the podcast. They have plenty of good little kind of beer boxes that are available. One that I've found here is a chili beer challenge. You get 4 bottles of beer for 15 quid. As you may have guessed, they are slightly chili flavoured and they're hot, apparently. So you've got one that's you've got a spicy one, you've got a fiery one, an extreme, and then an explosive. An explosive. I don't know what end is explosive. I don't want to know or find out, to be honest, but I didn't even. That's all they said. They didn't tell you who brewed it or nothing. I was like, who makes this beer? I want to find out. But they 4 bottles, 15 quid. They've also got a Mexican beer range for 15 quid as well. Got the ones you'd suspect in there. So Corona, Amigos is in there, and what's the other one? Modelo is in there.
Right, okay.
By the way, that bottle is a nice bottle.
We kind of.
That's a nice bottle. If you're after the kind of nice glasses, nice bottles and stuff, the Modelo, that's sweet. And they've also got a Craft Academy one as well, which gives you 3 bottles of beer and a glass as well. And you get a Big Bang, which is a 5.6 IPA, and you get one that's called a High and Dry, a 5% dry hop lager, and Over Easy, which is a 3.8% session IPA. So if you've got somebody in the family or somebody you know is into their craft beer, that could be the one for you. 15 quid. All 3 of the ones I've mentioned are 15 quid, and that's just from Debenhams. And there's other ones in there. I know you picked up a few as well. For Debenhams, it's weird to just think that kind of stuff's in there. I know Debenhams do a lot of these kind of gift packages things. And
it's kind of taken up for where like say British Home Stores and that left off. That's kind of was their thing. Is they had that big Christmas shop with all it was like a Guinness glass and a bar towel and a bottle or something like that of the export stuff that they had. It was it's hit or miss. Like some of them, even but Tesco are doing one which is just the glass, the Brewdog one which is just the glass. But then you can buy the $5 kind of punk 4 bottles of punk IPA or whatever alongside it, but it's pretty much just the glass for a $5, which is quite good as something else to put in somebody's stocking or something like that if you're looking for something.
I've asked. I quite like I've got about 10 minutes away, 10-minute drive. There's a place in Eastbourne called the Belgium Calf, and it does. Me and my dad went. In fact, one family went once, and me and my dad sat and went to the beer. They've got a massive beer list. They brew their own beer and everything. Fantastic place to eat and fantastic place to drink beer, drink beer. And the selection is as wide as anything I've seen ever. And they've got the right glass that goes with every single beer. And literally, me and my dad weren't even given a flying fuck about what the beer was. Or what it tastes like. We went to the bar and looked at the glasses and went, right, what is the fanciest glass? There was one that was like, I don't even know what it was like, a funnel, and it had a stand weight and everything. I was like, we'll have one of them. And it tastes like shit. We had one that tastes like shit. We had one that literally blew. I think the pair of us drank half of it and it blew the heat off us. We found that after it was like an 8% or 9%. And I think that ended us, to be fair. I'm all about the glasses. I like fancy glasses and stuff.
Aye, definitely. It can add something to it if it's in a nice glass.
Didn't it though?
I must say, I'm not that keen on the whole putting beer in wine glasses though. That's a bit ridiculous. Well, it looks like a wine glass anyway. It's got the long stem and everything on it. Let's behave ourselves. It's supposed to be served in an actual glass. No,
it's meant to be like semi-manly.
It's not a beer flute.
Exactly. I know we're in this whole gender equality area and all this crap about that's popped up quite recent, the last few days, at least on Facebook. Oh, Santa needs to be gender equality. He's not a man. Can't be a man. Has to be. God, fucking.
But then
crazy.
It can't be that good for it. Like, I understand there's supposed to be science behind certain things, but for me, it doesn't taste too much different whether you're drinking it. I don't know whether it's to help you get the smell out of it when you're tasting it properly. I don't know, but it doesn't look. It doesn't make any difference to me. In fact, it would be
It goes down the same way.
It would put me off if they started. That's a bit too pretentious.
I think the reason is for all the obviously aroma and all that.
It's meant for smelling it, right? But if you're smelling it, you're not drinking it fast enough.
Smelling it, you're not drinking it.
If it's got a smell, it's not being served at the right temperature also. We were talking about gifts and stuff like that. I read it to you just before we started. But if you're looking for something to give somebody that maybe, say you're a bit strapped or whatever, and you're looking for something today for somebody, but you're thinking, I'll wait until maybe I get paid in January or something like that, and I'll decide to take them out or something as something extra today. Brewdog are doing their kind of half-hour beer tasting sessions, if you like, to learn a wee bit more about what you're supposed to actually be smelling and tasting when you're having a beer, half hour for free in January. So you just book it online, you book a slot, you pick your Brewdog pub wherever it is. Some of them are in Europe, so if you're away you could do it, or the UK, and you go in, and it's normally there's a cost involved for it, but you get, I think it's pretty minimal. I think you get the flights, the wee half-hour sessions, and you get a flight to all the free stuff or all their headliners that they've got in, and you get some chat round about the beer and stuff like that. And then there's other stages you can go up that cost money, but you book them, they're free half-hour slots, and you go in and you can do them at any of the pubs. So it's a pretty good kind of, you could write it in the bottom of a card that will go out. I've got you a ticket to go to Brewdog for a tasting or whatever on this date, and you can go and enjoy it, and then buy them something when you're there, and that saves you having to fork out any cash to now when everybody else you're spending money on everybody else.
Definitely. I know, I mean, that time me and you went to the Brewdog, we were spying up one of the leaflets for an activity for doing their beer tasting, their beer school, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. I think it was the level up for this, so they're saying that graduate to the next level can book by emailing their local bar. Tickets for in-depth sessions are at £20 a person. So I think we were looking at the one up above this, but it's like the free beer schools are meant to inspire folk, obviously, to get the next level up. So how are you getting folk in the door, you know?
There is interesting. I'd be genuinely interested in finding out how certain beers are made, and what like when I smell stuff like this Hop House 13, I should be there's hints of apricot and peach. I can't eat the apricot, just eludes me completely. I can taste a tiny bit of peach when I actually properly taste it and keep it in my mouth for a minute instead of just dropping it in and letting it slide down. No, it definitely interests me now. Be something I will definitely look at getting into. Right then, we'll switch over. In fact, last one there. In fact, on the gifts, again back on Debenhams, they do have a craft beer subscription that you can get for someone. It costs £74, so it's quite pricey. They get a 3-month subscription to Beer 52, which I've heard us talk a lot of, literally since we started this podcast. They get 8 bottles each month for 3 months. They get the Ferment magazine, and they get a snack of love corn, which I fucking hate. So hopefully they change that to something else. Just do me a favour. As soon as I open the box, I see love corn, it just goes straight in the bin. Can't stand it.
Aye.
I hate it, mate.
I'd rather have peanuts or something.
I mentioned this to Dix in the last podcast. If I'm in a pub and having a beer, I'm either going to have a packet of crisps, peanuts, or like bacon fries or something, you know what I mean? I'm not going to, baked corn. I couldn't, no.
Maybe even like at a stretch, like chili popcorn or something like that, or
Popcorn, fair enough.
maybe at a stretch if it was like savoury popcorn.
It's just... Anyway, I've got a massive beef with that. I just didn't like it at all.
Even pretzels.
Aye, pretzels. Like they do everything that peanuts and stuff are made. Like, obviously, the reason for them all is they dry your mouth and they make people drink more. Pretzels do the exact same thing.
Salty,
dry,
flavoured.
Aye.
My favourite thing to have with beer at the moment is the depending on what you're drinking, it can be like a proper, like, heavy craft beer session. But if you're having like a few kind of lighter, like if you're drinking Punk IPA or something like that, you could probably get away with it. Is the Walker's Max. See the jalapeno and cheese ones, the really strong, the extra strong ones for drink. They're meant for having with beer, and they just they're like 2 or 3 times stronger than normal crisps. They're amazing. They're my favourite with beer snack if you're having. If you want to make me pick.
My favourite thing after a sesh is a pizza, to be honest.
Aye, but if you're talking about during, if it's in a bowl in front of you or there's a packet in front of you, they things are lethal. You could eat, because they taste like, if you're not drinking and you taste them, they taste really strong, like really, they're quite spicy and that. But if you're having a drink with them, your taste buds are numb to the point whereby it just makes them, you want to eat the whole bag.
I think it's because I'm probably numb anyway before I start eating the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Right, well, have a wee glance at football. We'll get to the obvious one in a minute. Something that we both found. I found it this morning. You sent it over as well before we started this podcast. I'll let you take this one, Miguel, because you'll say it better than me. You'll make it sound funnier.
Right, okay, so I'll bring it up. So we've spoke a bit of a preamble. So this is where it was a kind of in-joke as well as a kind of just a ridiculous story in general. We've spoken before, mainly there's a couple of players that we've pointed at before. One of them being Freddie Adu, who I think everybody knows was 18 for about 5 years. That was his start. As one. There's also. Do
you know he works for? He works for ESPN now.
That doesn't surprise me. Him and they're all they've all got jobs. It's like the old, everybody that was kind of in that USA men's national team that was decent, ish. Have all got jobs for ESPN and various other places. So, but this kind of takes the biscuit. There's other players like Obafemi Martins is one of them, he's been the same age forever. Who was it? I can try to remember who the other boy was that looked right old.
It's
now remind us.
Ambrose.
Is it?
No, it's no.
No, it's not. There was another boy that played that looked really old. Anyway, this guy. So we're going to step out of the Indian League, one that we cover quite frequently on the podcast, to a player called Gaurav Mukhi. Now Gaurav Mukhi became the youngest player last season. Became the youngest player to score in the Indian League, the ISL, when he netted for Jamshedpur FC at age 16. So he claimed, basically today it came out though that he's been suspended for 6 months for lying about his age. Now you've seen the pictures. This guy is actually...
when he's going to, I'll put the picture up so everyone can. If you're on YouTube, you'll see the picture. It'll pop up kind of like now.
It's fine in this picture, but it turns out he's actually 28. So his real age is 28, and according to Jay Ticker's piece in the Telegraph chronicling Mookie's rise, he clearly refers to the striker as being 28 years old. Considering that the piece was published before the season of Indian Soccer League kicked off, on the back of his inclusion, the statistics presented in the piece rang out as true, devoid of any deeper motive. So it's just a ridiculous, no idea. But basically, this guy he's like, I'm reading the Indian Telegraph story now. He's dribbled his way out of the narrow alleys of some slum to the famed portals of Jamshedpur FC. He was part of the JFC reserves outfit, and the league's second division last season, was selected for the senior side for his brilliance as a forward. Currently in Madrid, Spain.
Aye, because he's kicking the arse and bullying all these young fellas.
It's a story of sheer tenacity and passion for the 28-year-old striker, for whom football runs in his blood, but apparently he was lauded for being the youngest ever player to score a goal. Now this article's before just after he had come out, so this was September, earlier this year, so September 2018, and already he's been noted as 28 in this, but everybody else is of the opinion he was 16 up until today. Basically, it's come out and he's been banned for 6 months.
It's
but that
not,
just
if you see the picture on YouTube, if you're watching YouTube, he's got a massive tash.
He had a massive tash in September. He had the massive tash and a goatee to go along with it.
Granted, I can't really grow any facial hair to save my life, but this tash is a strong tash.
Oh,
and then you can curl the ends.
Aye, it's you could gel that up. I'm not keen. I'm also not keen on the bleach blonde hair. Is that to try and make it look younger?
The bleach blonde hair and the dark tash is
He might have at least got his eyebrows tinted.
fucking unbelievable.
Why? India's youngest ever goal scorer at 16.
Is he getting to keep the record?
I'm assuming it's going to be struck. I'd like to think so. If he's been banned for 6 months.
It's like, I'd like to think so, but yeah, you never know. Fair play. The boy made it at least, even if you lied. Yeah. Okay, then over to the obvious news that has broke this morning. Not a major surprise, however, maybe a surprise of when it's happened. Jose Mourinho has been sacked by Manchester United after their worst start since 1990. They are 19 points away from the top, and they're playing like shite. They got an arse ripping off Liverpool at the weekend, 3-1. Liverpool were all over them, left, right, and centre.
Mm-hmm.
We seen this coming, but we seen it coming earlier. I personally didn't see this coming. I thought he'd maybe kind of regain some form of confidence with the board. How results were before, they were getting better, but it appears there was some friction behind closed doors, and he wasn't happy with things, and apparently he'd asked for this transfer window that's coming up for there to be signing. He'd given a list of signings that he wants to look at, and they just went no.
Wow.
It's been coming.
I just didn't understand him. Did you see kind of Gary Neville's big rant about what was going on? And I kind of agree with him, to be honest. Why would you go backing somebody when you know they're flaky in that third year? And why back them if you're not going to back them with the money to spend on the players? You know what I mean? Why bring them? Why give them that extra? If you were going to make them work, when I know they had 50 million to spend on Fred. Now, I don't know whether Fred's been his signing or whatever. I don't know if he's picked him. I don't think he has. I think he would have picked a centre half. But they never backed him properly, and then for him to go in with a list of signings this time and get it thrown away, it just makes it. I mean, he's obviously said, "Look, I'm just going to go out here and moan like hell about all this stuff."
I think it's a combination.
They've said, "Spend the money, spend the 20 million, and get shot at him."
A combination of that, and then a combination of also the money they spent on getting Pogba back, and the Liverpool game, he sits in the bench the whole game, and you're going to be sitting there if you're on the board and be like, hold on, we spent how much was he, like 70 odd million or something?
Aye.
We spent this amount of money, and the boy's sitting on the bench is meant to be like one of the top 10 players in the world, I'd say. Arguably,
based on his World Cup performance, he would be, aye.
And And
everything he did with Juventus before, I just don't know what it is. Either he doesn't fancy it, or the Premier League's not for him, or he's not being played in the right place, or just I think it's virtue of the fact that he's got nothing behind him. Like he's having you can only play like he plays if you've got confidence in the folk that are behind you, and they've just no. The defence is murder.
The defence is murder. Phil Jones, prime example. Smalling getting
many mistakes in them.
They've
been like that forever.
They've been like that forever. Smalling getting cut late doors because he wasn't feeling it. Basically had a niggling injury, so he got dropped at the weekend. Didn't play. It's an absolute shithole at Manchester United, but they've said they will appoint a caretaker manager from outside of the club in the next 42 hours, so the next 2 or 3 days probably. We should hear the names that are being mentioned for the caretaker position are the likes of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Again,
is currently in a job over in Norway. He is a manager of MFK in the Norwegian top division.
The Tippeligaen.
Yes. Would he honestly leave the job he's in now to take?
Depends on what the money's like.
A part-time job, basically.
Depends on what the money's like and whether it's going to springboard them back in. It's a good few leagues up for Norway, and if you finish anything better than 6th with that group of players that you've got, does that make good financial sense for you, and does it lift your stock for the job that you get afterwards? Does it get him a Premier League job the next year?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
Sure.
Because he's been at that kind of level before. Made an arse it was, at Cardiff or something like that, was it?
He started off initially doing working with Man U and their youth. So he did that for a fairly long time. I'm just going to bring up now. I know he did a little bit after it, and if my internet was a little bit quicker, which it's no.
Oh, he was. So he's only ever done Man United reserves.
Right, the reserves are under.
Cardiff. He was at Cardiff, but he didn't last long. He was at Cardiff between January 2014 and September 2014 as manager. And then he's been at Mold. That's Mold.
Oh, nice, the one before it. He was at one after Cardiff.
Who's it?
Klusenchen, under 19s. Another under 19s reserve. I don't think Solskjaer would be the right caretaker to get in place. Everywhere he's been hasn't been a massive success.
But who do you bring in? There's nobody else out there that wants that kind of.
I don't know why they don't get
Gary
Giggs, Neville.
I don't know.
The thing is though, every single name that people come up with, even Laurent Blanc, the guys that everyone's naming are players that used to play with Man U. There's nobody saying like Allardyce or I don't know Allardyce.
Because I think nobody else would want it for 3 months.
No.
For 6 months, whatever it is.
But maybe, do you know, think maybe that needs somebody for an outside perspective who's no got an attachment to Man United to like go in and go fuck off, get rid of you, and then.
But I don't think they'll want somebody to come in and make any changes. I think they'll want to get to the end of the season, because what Neville and them were saying that I think rings true. They need to hit the reset button, and they're not going to get to do that halfway through a season, because everybody will be charging them, or have them out of a barrel for money wise, so they'll not be buying anybody. So it's getting somebody to come in and do what they can with what's there.
The thing is,
a Solskjaer will not be there asking for megabucks, because the team one of the players probably makes about. There's a laddie playing in reserves for Man United that makes more money than Mould get for their transfer budget for an entire season. So,
what was I going to say? I can't remember that.
He would just take it and play with what he's got.
Oh, that's what it is. I think it's like, apart from the defence, like the rest of the team is actually half decent. It's just they've not played. Like Lukaku, like if you said last season and the season before was like, when he was at Everton. Last season with Everton, he was absolutely brilliant. Just keep it Man U and just don't know what's happened. Pogba, Juventus, unbelievable. France, unbelievable. Man U, don't know where he's
Well, you'll find out with whoever it comes in. This is the test to see whether the players are at fault or whether it was the style of football they were having to play or were playing that was the problem. We shall see.
Potentially a case that Mourinho just had too big of an ego.
I think it was a lot of his teams that he's put out were an experiment to show just how badly he was needing centre halves, and he's been like that all year. He just away in the huff. I know he's away in the huff, but he's 20 million quid richer, which suits him.
Yeah, he's just going to sit there and cash in. Which
I don't know if he'll go in. I don't know if he would go and manage another team. I think he's that stubborn that he will, but I wouldn't. If I was him, I would call it there.
Well, that's my next question. I personally don't see him getting another top Premier League job. Like I don't think he'd go in. Like Liverpool are going to stick with Klopp for the foreseeable future if they keep playing. Man City are alright with Pep. Obviously at the moment Pochettino with Spurs, however, he has been linked to the permanent Man U job alongside Big Zinedine Zidane, linked with the Man U job. Does Mourinho actually get a look in again in the Premier League? Because I'm not too sure he does.
I don't think so. I think he's now been at the two to the top four, if you like. I don't think, unless Spurs or something like that take a punt on him when they lose Pochettino.
Is it more of a case of the way I see it happening? I don't know who the Porto manager is now. I don't know how Porto are doing at the moment. But is it a case of you just sit pretty until the Porto job comes up?
I don't know.
And then it just finishes around kind of round circle of his career.
Goes and wins a couple of leagues or something like that, because it can't be that hard. But I don't know. Maybe he'll want to take a few years out and see how things are and then come back later. Maybe once Pep's left Man City, it would be a good idea to come back into the Premier League.
That'd be a laugh, innit? That'd be a laugh of him jumping.
Come back in now and win. I don't think he would take that. I don't think Man City would ever offer him that job, but he would come back into another team once he's away. But if you look at, Mourinho's stats like the whole time he's been there. If you look at it, somebody did a comparison, and I know it's all about context, and it's just kind of devil's advocate stuff. But Mourinho's stats and accomplishments as Man United manager definitely outstrip Klopp's as Liverpool manager.
Why?
2 trophies.
FA
was it a second and a fourth or something like that he's won?
Centre of FA positions. Cup and a Europa.
Aye. And Klopp's won hee-haw the whole time he was there, but it's context, and it's about the style of football and where they're going right now. Man United look to definitely be regressing, which tends to be the case with Mourinho teams in that third year. Yep. While everything looks to be clicking, or most things look to be clicking for Liverpool. Like they look to have taken another step forward when it comes to league performances this year compared to what they did last year. Need to wait and see how long it continues, but they look to have taken a step closer to Man City. I don't think they've got what it takes to get over them, but I don't think they've got what it takes to get over the top of them. But they definitely look like they're going in the right direction compared with somebody like Man United are going backwards.
So I said this to Dixon last podcast. So if Liverpool do not have Mo Salah, take Mo Salah out of the equation. He's playing for LA Galaxy. I don't know. Are Liverpool where they are right now?
Um,
Have they still got enough quality? Like Man City, their bench at the weekend was, I think, off the top of my head, was like worth like 140 mil. They had like De Bruyne, Aguero was sitting on the bench. The bench was stacked.
but Liverpool's bench isn't as stacked, I'll give you that, but it's effective.
Mm.
So if you look at Shaqiri's
He's here. I love him.
he's a world-class bench player. Like, he's like, I'm going to get shot down for this if anybody decides to listen to this, but he's like the effective version of Nacho Novo when he used to come on and score goals. You know what I mean? Like, just that burst of energy. But he's got the actual class to back it up every game. You know what I mean? He's good. Like, a 65 minutes, right? Come on and turn the game around.
Mate.
He's the substitution that every manager wants to be able to turn a game over when you're desperate for a goal.
Yeah.
He's sitting there, and he didn't cost a lot of money. Stoke were going down. I think they got him at a steal anyway. They got him at next to nothing, and he's such an effective substitute to bring on. You didn't have to lose. You can keep your front three happy. You're only having to maybe replace one of them. You can drop a centre midfielder and bring him on if you want, and keep the other three there if you're drawing. Or if you're trying to see something out, you can bring him on and he can just chase balls a bit for the last 10-15.
Since Shaqiri made it to the Premier League, I've rated it. I've loved him, and
he just has his off games, which is why it's good for him to, like, you see it when all the pressure's on his shoulders, which it was at Stoke. He's not got it to be 100% on all the time. He has his off games. He has bits and pieces where he has that kind of daft streak in him. But if you instruct him properly, bring him on at the right time, and start him in the games where you think he's going to have the right effect on the game, and make sure, as I said, he's obviously Klopp waited a wee bit before putting him on, and only brings him on in places where he sees him doing the damage. And he's quite strict with his instructions, I think. But that treating him that way makes him a much better player, much more effective.
But I mean, it was that. Was it the World Cup? The World Cup of the Euros when he kind of jumped on the scene for Switzerland, and that's when he, like, I remember seeing them, and I was a fan straight away. Just a pocket rocket of energy and pure world class talent, and obviously Stoke picked him up. I thought, like you said, you said I agree with everything you said. He's kind of on and off, and I think Gary Neville at the weekend during the game mentioned that, like, Liverpool didn't need a midfielder. They didn't need one. But if a world class talent comes up and is available, just get him, and you make it work after you get him, and that's what they're doing. And they're getting the performance. He doesn't have to be the best man in the park every single game. He can come on after 60 minutes or so and affect the game. That game at the weekend, I mean, he came on after 63 or 65 minutes, scored 2 goals. First touch was a goal. He's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I think he's quality. I would have him in my fantasy team, but the reason I don't have him is because he doesn't start every game and he has his off games, but he's brilliant.
He's definitely. I think, but that's Man City have got somebody like that at every single position on the bench, which is the bit that makes it seem like they're never going to get past that. But the signings that Liverpool have made have definitely been effective, including adding him as depth to the bench, plus gaining a bit of cover for Champions League and things like that. As I said, it'll depend on how the Champions League goes post-Christmas. That'll determine how the season goes, I think. Definitely.
Who is Man United's manager at the start of next season? Obviously, names like Pochettino, Zidane have been mentioned. I would love to see Zidane, and we've mentioned that however many podcasts ago that Zidane had said in a report that he would like to manage a team in the Premier League. Is it just a case of it's Zidane and we're just going to sit here waiting for it to be confirmed?
I don't know. That depends. It really, based on how stingy the guys have been so far, I don't know if it's the job that Pochettino wants. I think he kind of wants to go, if he's going to go to another team, to go to a team where he's going to get a blank check, because he's already been through that kind of, no scrimping and scraping, but somebody no backing him. And I don't think he'll want to be there with maybe somebody who has got their business head on, trying to make signings based on making money, which is what Man United have shown themselves to be. It's
trouble with Spurs at the moment. They've obviously just went in this new stadium. It's taking longer than expected to get it actually opened. So they didn't sign anybody last transfer window. They're probably not going to sign anybody this transfer window. And with the money they've spent on the stadium, like, when are you going to get money to spend? Is it going to be a case of sell somebody? Like Harry Kane's been linked to Barcelona, which is mental.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's going to need, if he was going to go somewhere else, he wouldn't want to go into the same situation where Man United have been kind of the same in that they're spending money and they're paying far bigger wage bill, so you've got the ability to draw more players, but no, if you're not getting to pick them.
Aye.
Which is basically the situation he's in with Tottenham, because he's not getting to pick anybody.
No.
And they're not bringing anybody else in that at least he's getting to say, well, if it's not who I want and we're not getting to spend the kind of money I want to spend, then don't bring anybody in. Whereas Man United are kind of dictating and bringing in people that they think they can make money off it. So I don't think he would go to the same situation again unless he was being told, you've got a blank check and you're making all the decisions. Which is, I think he would get that at Real Madrid. Not a blank check to make all the decisions, but he would at least have input and wouldn't be bothered about wages or transfer fees. If he sees somebody who wants to go and get it, he could just go and get them. Whereas at Man United, I don't think you'll ever get that.
No, if it's me, if I'm Pochettino right now, I don't even sniff at the Man U job at all, for those reasons you mentioned, and the fact that, like you said, Real Madrid, I've looked at them before, they've got him on their radar, and as like Spurs at the moment, they're kind of getting bigger worldwide. They're like, obviously with Harry Kane getting the Golden Boot at the World Cup, they've got these kind of superstar, so to speak, players who are all over the TV and adverts left, right, and centre. To be honest, if it's me, I would stay at Spurs and just see it out. And if the likes of Real Madrid come a knocking, then that's when you move. I don't think Man United's the right job for Poch. But
if you've got the choice of two, whether it's Real Madrid, because I know that they'll be looking for somebody, or Man United, the Real Madrid one's the easiest one to take. I mean, they're already past the Ronaldo thing, so their big personality's already out the door. He's away. It's time to hit the reset button for them as well. The players there are a lot easier to ship because they've still got quality. So you've got Bale that would go, you could sell him back to Tottenham for whatever.
Yeah, like the market value for all those guys is just unreal. So to make the money back and get somebody else in, it's just as, if not better, is much easier.
Whereas you're never going to get anybody to buy Chris Smalling. You know what I mean? People like, who do you want to try and sell? Sergio Ramos or Chris Smalling?
Luke Shaw.
Aye. Luke Shaw, in fairness, has had a bit of a resurgence.
Aye, he's been playing well.
And Pochettino must have a soft spot for him because he obviously played him at Southampton.
Aye, so.
But, like, try to ship Phil Jones to somebody. Who's got to take him? West Brom if they get promoted. You know what I mean? It's
West
can't get rid of any of that.
And it's that thing, like, if you looked at Phil Jones, you'd be like, to be honest, mate, West Brom are.
You can't even let him play to try and get his sell in the shop one day because he does himself harm every time he plays.
He just does something fucking stupid.
Him and Chris Smalling, the two of them, they're needing to come to a decision to buy the two of them out their contracts. They're spending money on buying people out of contracts, and as it is with Mourinho, they're as well doing it to the two of them. You'd rather go into the second half of the season, two centre halves doing this of the two, based on the way they're playing at the moment.
Alright, so after what we've all said, then, does Big Zizi get in then?
I think so. I think he's the one that's not got a job currently.
He's the one to me. It makes sense I mean,
he could be picking signings out the now while the season's still going on.
And if
it could be doing stuff behind closed doors, you know what I mean?
If you're a player and you see Zidane is managing, he's obviously been at Real Madrid. You've seen what he's done there, and let's hypothetically he goes to Man United, and you see what he's done before, and you go, right, okay, if he's won this and this before, he will end up doing it again there at Man United. But it's just as big a club, arguably. And
he never really signed anybody either. It was all about personality management, right? Which is what Man United are really needing. And
I would be surprised if it's anyone else. I think Zidane makes the most sense. He's said publicly in the report that he wants to be there, and we'd love to manage Man United. And I understand why they're going, like, you know what, we'll just see the season out, get it rid of it, get a caretaker in, and then just start afresh. There's no point bringing Zidane in now, who would just have this shit heap of what they've already got. Just let somebody else run its course and then deal with it.
Go for there, aye, definitely.
And then just start again. It does make perfect sense. And I would, like I said, I'd be surprised if it's anybody else. I can't even. There's nobody else that springs to mind that would make sense for Man United to go and get. Apart, obviously, Pochettino we kind of mentioned, but Zidane in the Premier League, that would be awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It would, wouldn't it? It'd be good.
Too bad he's not actually playing though, but that would be absolutely brilliant. Yes. So as always, head over to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and untap that Beer Fridge podcast. If you want to send us a direct message via email, beerfridgepodcast@gmail.com. Also on the Beer Fridge Network as well, beerfridgenetwork.com as well. I nearly said that again. www.beerfridgenetwork.com if you want to get involved and you want to be a part of the Beer Fridge Network. So if you're a blogger, podcaster, YouTuber, music producer, get in touch, be a part of the Beer Fridge podcast, a new platform for all new creators to get together and grow together as well. I didn't mention at the start, I should have mentioned at the start, if you want a chance to win yourself a box of beer from Beer52, all you have to do is like, share and comment on, doesn't matter what social media platform it is, do that. And if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe and hit the notification buttons, which are over there, I think, in that direction somewhere. If you're watching, you'll see me pointing. Hit them for your next video and podcast, which will be available shortly. Podcasts over the festive season may be sporadic and slim to none, but we will try and get as much out as possible.
Vegas cast.
As you can imagine, the gentlemen, you and Hobbs, are off to Vegas. I'll do my best to get as much up as I can by myself, or as anyone else wants to get involved and help us out. Or if anybody out there as well wants to get involved and help us out with the podcast, get some content out there over the festive period, get in touch. It'll be much appreciated. We appreciate all the likes, we appreciate all the shares, all the likes we've had over the recent 3 or 4 days over Twitter have been amazing, fantastic. We appreciate all those as well. Unless you, my man, have got anything else to add?
No, I'm all good. Catch you later.
If I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what I was going to say there. To be honest. Until next time on the Beer Fridge podcast, it's cheery bye for me.
Cheerio, folks.
Have a good one.